Pet Sematary is based on the terrifying Stephen King novel, and it's about a family who's moving in this house, and there's a pet cemetery nearby, and if you bury something dead there, like an animal or a person, that animal or person comes back different, evil. So, just like in Us, this movie tackles something pretty similar, as in somebody you know and love not really being them anymore. Well, in Us, it was doppelgangers pretending to be someone you know and love. But this one, is similar because it's still somebody you know and love, but they're different. They're changed. And that concept scares the hell out of me. Somebody pretending to be somebody you know, or it being them, their body, but they're not all there anymore. They're different. And that's probably why I consider the book to be the scariest book I've ever read. So I've always liked this movie until I seen it this time for this review. It really missed the point of the book. The book, yes, is horror, but it has a message to it. It deals with grief and it shows how the characters deal with that grief. This movie went for the scares and it didn't really focus on the grief, and that was a big disappointment. So you have this character named Judd, that's their neighbor, and he tells the dad about the pet cemetery because his little daughter's cat dies, named Church, and so he goes and buries it out there in the pet cemetery, and it comes back to life. And yeah, it's an evil little shithead cat. And later on in the movie, Judd tells the dad, I forget his name, um, about the horrors that have come out of that cemetery. And why the hell did you tell him about the cemetery to begin with if you knew how evil it was? That's something I didn't get. And he gives an excuse, but I didn't think his excuse was good enough. Why would you tell anybody about that pet cemetery if you know how evil it is? So yeah, it was really hard for me to sympathize with the characters because of how dumb they were. Like they knew what they were getting themselves into, and they would do it anyway. Especially the dad, he kept doing it, knowing the results. He kept doing it. So I'm just like, well, you get what you deserve. And speaking of the dad, the actor who played the dad sucked. Like his acting really sucked. It was so wooden and emotionless throughout the whole movie. I would have been more entertained watching a block of wood play the dad. The little girl in the movie was a better actor than he was. And she was only 9. But I do praise this movie for having the guts to go through with the dark themes, in the book. And the ghost that's following the Creed family around, was really unnecessary for me. And the special effects they had for the ghost look really bad, really dated. And I know this is a 1989 film, but I've seen older movies with better special effects than this movie. And it didn't really look that complicated. It was just a ghost. Like how hard is that to make? Like if you don't have enough money to do special effects and make it look good, then don't do it at all. And I know some of you may not like me being so hard on this movie, but I got to be honest with you guys. If I don't like a movie, yeah, I've got to be honest about it. Even when it comes to Stephen King and one of his movies or books, if I don't like it, I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to point out the problems I had with it. So I'm really surprised by this. I remember watching it last time, a few years ago, really liking it, and I thought going into this movie again for this review, I'd probably be giving it an A, but I'm gonna give Pet Cemetery a C. I did not really like it that much. I thought the practical effects were pretty good, and the actor who plays Judd, the old man, I thought was good too. That's really all the positives I have for the movie. I just didn't like it this go around. Maybe I'll like it next time I see it in the next few years, but for now, Pet Cemetery is getting a C. So if you want to see some of my other Stephen King videos, I'll put a playlist right here for you guys to check out. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.